surprise where I'm like, whoa, okay. Anyway, so yeah, save your money.
Yeah. Wait for it.
Wait for it. What else? We also saw Kickass 2. Didn't you see it?
Yep.
What did you think, Thomas?
I liked it better than the comic. I really did not like the comic.
Yeah. It's slightly better than the comic.
Yeah. I don't like. I want to like it. Actually, I didn't hate it, but I want to like it more than I did, and I just can't. And the acting was decent enough. The writing sometimes fell a little flat, but there's definitely humorous moments. Sometimes they pushed the envelope a little too far. Like the humor was just too gross, and it was like they have all this witty, fun kind of stuff going on, and then they go to like high school humor, and you're just kind of like, really?
You mean like the diarrhea stick?
Yeah, the sick stick.
How is the motherfucker? Is he the only villain?
No, he's... Oh, who's his butler? Or his...
Yeah,
John Leguizamo.
I love
him. He's actually a fun character.
He was really good.
He's fine. Yeah, he's not bad.
I had no idea he's in that.
For the comic book fans, the Mother Russia, they spot on.
Yeah,
like
it was
amazing. Yeah, it was. I was.
I thought the actors all did a fine job.
Yeah.
But you're right. The material sometimes just fell flat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it was just tonally up and down and left and right. So it was really silly funny, then good funny, and then just violently brutal.
Yeah.
And it was just like the pendulum just swung back and forth. I was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was, and I like violence. I like all of it, but it was not consistent.
And some of the violence was really fun and cool to watch, and then other times you're like, what? Like, really?
Like cringeworthy almost?
Yeah.
I'd have to say Mother Russia, the end fight with Mother Russia.
Yeah.
Well, I liked when she was doing a lot of her stuff, but with the kind of the final fight, I thought was a little, with the adrenaline, was a little cheesy. But, what was the comic?
Shark?
The shark.
Cheesy?
Yeah, no, the shark was, I'm glad they had that in there, except the end where he... Well,
Deus Ex Machina.
After the
I called
credits,
it.
there's a scene after the credits.
It's true, but it's
But
a lot
again,
different than the comic in that aspect.
Like a wrap-up scene, like to put a button on it, or to continue?
Not to put a button on it.
To be honest, I like
open it up.
I like the very end a lot more than the comic book. In regards to how things are kind of settled, the comic ends on a really kind of dark, depressing note, and the movie kind of peps it up a bit.
Yeah, it's like Care Bear's stare at the end. Sorry, I don't want to like mess it up. But I felt like that at the end.
Did they have Did they like have a meeting? They're like, we need to end this on a little bit of a lighter note.
Jim Carrey, despite him kind of being against the movie, Jim Carrey is enjoyable to watch. I really loved his character.
I agree.
It's too bad he can't play more moderate, entertaining characters like that in movies instead of trying to go out on a
because he's just trying to ruin his career.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But you're right about the tone. Like, you have a 10-minute sequence where Hit Girl tries to fit in with the high school girls, and it's like watching a teen comedy. Like, oh, those girls don't like my dress. It's like Mean Girls for 10 minutes, and then the next 10 minutes you watch a guy get like strangled to death in a really brutal way in a jail cell, and he's like all blue and gross, and you're like, which movie is this? Is this Mean Girls, or is this Chainsaw Massacre?
It's Mean Girls Chainsaw Massacre.
So would you say like the way it was
Chainsaw Massacre,
like, I don't know, directed? I mean, because since the acting isn't bad and the writing isn't horrible, but it's just, it seemed like they couldn't decide on the mood.
I think there's problems with the script, and I think that's mostly because there were problems with the comic book.
And
that the script's based on,
and that you can see that as far as the writers of the comic book were actually on set to help make the movie. So.
So they wanted some sort of integrity or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't think people were excited enough about Kickass that Kickass 2 is going to bring anyone out. I'm not surprised if no one goes. Like who really was sitting around going, oh man, why won't they make a sequel to Kickass?
Especially if they read the comic.
And Kick-Ass 1 ended on a I think on a good.
I thought it did too.
Did.
I
You
wasn't.
wouldn't have
I
expected
definitely
a second.
wasn't sitting around hoping for it.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it needed
But
a
when you
But
heard
as soon
about
as
it,
it
you're
was
like,
announced-
oh, okay, I'll watch it.
Exactly. As soon as it was announced, I'm like, "Fuck yes! I can't wait."
Yeah.
Because
But
I
it
like
doesn't.
this.
I didn't feel like it added anything to the story. Like
bummer.
Kick-Ass at the start of the movie and Kick-Ass at the end of the movie, kind of, or Hit Girl, they all kind of feel like the same person. Like, you know, did the movie affect them in any real way? Some things happen to them that
Right.
are rough, but they seem like
They haven't changed all that much.
they haven't
Right.
changed. So
Yeah,
this-
like that first movie, they're two. Like you can tell, they're just two people,
Yeah.
or ordinary. I mean,
Yeah.
Hit Girl was being trained, but she was still drastically changed by the end of that movie too.
Sure.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the issues I had with the comic book too, as far as like you can think of some of the worst things possible that could happen to the hero character, and yes, he's sad for that moment, and then literally like
Yeah.
2 pages in, he's back to the way he was. These are life changing, like horrible things that happen to him,
Yeah,
and it's
right.
like, nah, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell that any of that stuff happened to him.
Now, to be fair, if something horrible happens to a character and he spends 20 or 40 minutes on screen crying, I don't want to watch that movie.
I agree.
But you're right.
But you want to see some.
I want to
time
see
of
a
him still-
legitimate like response to, oh, this horrible thing happened to me. Let's go do this. You know,
Yeah.
it's
At least a moment of
anger,
something.
Yeah.
grief. You know, maybe they're gonna turn over a new leaf, that kind of thing.
maybe
but
break a vase. Damn it! Okay, now let's go kick some
I
ass.
immediately
I'm
thought
pretty
of,
sure that's actually what
I actually
happened.
thought of the end scene of The Room when he's angry and pushing
Oh, yeah.
stuff off the shelves.
You know what? Actually, just talking about movies or film in general and TV shows too, I think I'm officially tired of the scene where the character's so upset that he has to sweep everything off the desk or off a table,
Or flip
or maybe
something.
even flip
That's
it.
not really necessary.
Like the
anymore.
first time, I mean, they do it to show this is
Yeah.
how I show that I'm angry. But I've seen that exact
Played out.
But I
it's
think
played out.
it'd be better if they weren't doing it to their own shit, because then you know that they're like picking up like, God damn it.
Well, there's.
Fucking
I
like that.
think.
I'd
If
actually
it's
rather
like
see
at a
that
boss's
scene.
office, like, fuck you, boss.
I'd love to see that
Yeah.
scene
No.
where he's
Then you're like,
setting
yeah,
stuff back
yeah,
out.
like,
Or maybe even
Damn
grab
it.
something that he's trying
Super
to break
glue and
and
stuff.
yeah,
I
when you
can't
can't do it.
he just sets it back down.
Okay, hold on. Maybe this one. Okay, now I feel better.
I feel like that was in a movie. Wasn't there a movie where someone
No idea.
like violently wanted to do something? Just
Maybe that sounds
maybe it was
familiar.
my dad.
The movie of your life, Lewis.
grabs the
Actually,
vase and
yeah.
throws it on the ground and just goes, pling, pling.
When I was in sixth grade, I was playing a video game. Back then, they had those old like discs,
Yeah.
the vinyl, the like Teflon disc, and you'd stick into a computer. And I was just playing. My dad was like, "Lewis, come do some work in the house," or whatever. And I was like, "I'm in the middle of this level on Ultima 3 or whatever."
God.
He comes busting in, and he's so mad, and he tears it out of the computer, and he went, "Ugh," they couldn't tear it. 'Cause it's Teflon. He was so mad. And I just went, "That's like $100 worth of games," and it wasn't. It was all pirated. And later he gave me, because he crinkled it enough it wouldn't work, so he later gave me a bunch of money.
Nice.
And then I just went to my friends, "Hey, I need Ultima 3 again."